I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Sziasztok, szép jó estét kívánok mindenkinek! Üdvözöllek titeket Genshin Impact végigjátszásunk 52. részében, amiben Shao és Kazuha story questjét fogjuk megcsinálni, de előtte még én itt nagy bálna vadászatban vagyok, értitek? Nagy bálna. Gyorsan megcsináljuk, hát ha fel tudjuk húzni Furinának 9-esre az egyik talentjét. Aztán nekiesünk először Shao questjének. Ha azzal végeztünk, akkor pedig még remélhetőleg Kazuhára is lesz idő.
Hey there! Ow! I'm fine. Watch out!
Gyorsan felhúzzuk a bálnát. Szeretnénk Furina skilljét is kimaxolni. Na hát. És most teszünk egy kaját, mielőtt még bemegyünk. Let's go! Esélye nem volt. Gyerünk, tessék megfeküdni. Na nem, mintha most nem feküdne. Elfelejtettem, hogy ezek közben eltűntek. Na mindegy. Jó éjszakát. Na. What the fuck? 3 adott. Jó, annyi, hogy én még szeretnék csereberélni, mert nyilván 2 fajtát kaptam, és nekem a harmadik kell, mint ahogy általában szokott lenni. Bár most legalább 3 darabot adott. Na. Mondd, hogy tudok, pont 2-t tudok cserélni. Szuper! És köszönöm szépen. Gentle Home Usher. Na! Nézzük meg. Mi zajlik Hangshu-in környékén? Szia, Exa! Például hidi csörlök zajlanak fekete aurával. Mi a helyzet, Exa? Hogy vagy, hogy vagy?
Is it just Paimon, or is there something weird about those hilly trails over there?
Eléggé fel vannak hergelve.
Right. Maybe it has something to do with that sorta dark energy they're giving off.
Elképzelhető.
This is right by the Wangshu Inn too. Oh, the guests are in great danger.
Második napja? Hú, nekem, tudod mi a bajom? Gyűjtöm 1000-rel a húzásokat. 50-hez közelítünk, de közben belegondoltam, hogy tök jó lenne, hogyha Zsongdi mellett Nuvilettet is ki tudnám szedni, csak mennyi az esélye. Ugyanis legutoljára kijött Shilonen, és ő volt az utolsó pullunk, ha jól emlékszem. Tehát, ja, 50-nél tartunk, és konkrétan így fejeztük be. És nem tudom, mi lesz ebből. Pedig tök jó lenne mind a 2-t megszerezni. És akkor utána meg jön Mavika, akit szintén tök jó lenne megszerezni. Úgyhogy nem tudom, mi lesz, Exa. Pánikolok előre.
Whoa! See that guy in the mask? He scared off all the hilly trolls.
Lehet, hogy egy adeptus.
Oh, you mean like Xiao? Now that you mention it, this guy's mask is kind of similar to the one that he wears. But the magic he was using seemed even more adeptus-y than Xiao's. Shall we go say hi?
Akkor igen. Jó nagyot kívánok. Star Snatcher.
Hello! Allow us to introduce ourselves.
Please, if you're here to thank me, there's no need. Cleansing the world of evil is the duty of the Adepti. Think nothing of it. One certainly doesn't. Wait, who are you? One had assumed you were followers, but on closer inspection it seems that we have not met.
Hát irigyellek. Bár az a bajom, hogy gyűjtögetem ezerrel a karaktereket, de igazából egyiket sem húzom fel. Mert mindenem elmegy arra, hogy a talenteket maxolom ki a jelenlegieknek, meg farmolom az artefaktokat. Pedig most már nagyon sok karakter van, akit fel kéne húznom. Hát mi csak utazók vagyunk, vagyis mi csak átutazóban vagyunk.
And this is my sidekick.
One sees. One too shall introduce oneself, for it is good manners to comply.
Ja. Az a baj, hogy ugye ezért tök jó lenne mindenből C3, C4, meg ilyenek, de C6-ot azt nem is
The
emlegetem,
one
hát
before
az
you is the Adeptus, Master of Stars.
álom
Though one is
marad
better known
örökre.
to one's followers as Star Snatcher.
Star Snatcher.
One descended from one's mountain abode to cleanse the world of evil, whereupon
Valaki nagyon
fate
tapsol
saw
megint
fit
a
that our
háttérben.
paths should cross. Now, tell me that which you wish for.
Our wishes? Paimon thought that the Adepti and Leela were just really good in battle. You mean you can grant people's wishes too?
There are different levels of Adepti. Are not the stars loftier than the mountains, clouds, and moon? Yet, it is unbecoming of an Adepti to boast of one's powers. One would have you first speak to one's followers, and only then make your verdict.
Kicsit bullshitnek hangzik, hogy többféle szintű
Have you
adeptus
seen the Master
létezik.
of Stars in action? His power truly hails from the divine. I believe that now there is finally some hope for my ailing father.
Mesélj erről a csillagok mesteréről.
Watching him use his magic is all the proof you need. A true adeptus, no doubt about it. Not long ago, I sought some medicine from him on behalf of my ailing father. The difference with Boo Boo Pharmacy's prescriptions was like night and day, I tell you. Once it was boiled and ready, it gave off this really ethereal mist. Seemed pretty adeptal to me.
Ja, értem, mit mondasz.
Could have also been because there
Hát
was mist flower in it, though.
Nekem az a problémám, hogy megtetszik egy karakter, és akkor kényszert érzek, hogy megszerezzem. Például első körben, ugye most volt az 5.2-es mi a fene a Twitch-en. Első körben nekem mocskosul tetszik Csaska is. Aztán nyilván majd kipróbálom a mi a fenébe. Ugye lesz demo neki. Hát az Arkon az igen. Az állítólag nagyon OP lesz. Nagyon kíváncsi vagyok rá.
But my father's life is worth much more than a few old relics, right?
Meg, mondjuk, jó, azt hozzá kell tenni, kicsit zavar, hogy a netlenes karakterek azok úgy nagyon elrugaszkodtak a Genshin világától. Tetszik a terület, meg tetszenek a karakterek, de hogy stílusban mennyire távol állnak az összes többi karaktertől.
The Millilith don't really need to do shifts when the Master of Stars is around, do they?
Én nekem úgy mindegyik tetszik valamilyen szinten, Főleg a demók alapján azok marhán szimpatikusak voltak, de annyira más stílus, meg most Mavikának is motorja lesz. Csaska is repül egy fegyveren, tehát annyira elrugaszkodtunk a Genshin világától, hogy már szerintem már úgy nagyon nem illenek bele a játékba, főleg Kinics, hogyha megnézed, hogy egy ilyen gaming valami ilyen retro gaminges inspiráció áll mögötte. Én nem tudom, halálra dicsérik Shilonen, de
I'm a merchant, and I had
De-
an especially valuable batch of goods
soha
that
nem fogom
needed
tudni úgy
transporting
kiépíteni,
with
hogy tényleg olyan jó
So
legyen
I
nekem is.
asked the Master of Stars if he would make the journey with me, as presumptuous as that was. Reason being, monsters run a mile as soon as he so much as holds up his talisman. We didn't have the slightest bit of trouble the whole journey. It didn't come cheap, of course, but then soliciting the services of an adeptus is a monumental affair. Just look at the rite of dissension. So I can accept it, but I doubt that most from outside of Liyue would be willing to.
Érdekes, hogy az adeptus barátunk, Star Snatcher, mindenféle értékeket fogad el a követőitől a csodákért cserébe. Az a baj, hogy én próbálok most arra ráállni, hogy azokat a karaktereket akarom megszerezni, akik tényleg kimagaslóak. De most egy ilyen banneren, ahol választanom kell Nuvilet meg Zsongli közül, hát az nem egyszerű. Mert az egyik az brutálisan nagyokat üt, a másik meg halhatatlanná teszi a csapatot, de nem sebez semmit. Tehát Zsonglinak lényegében nincs sebzése, maximum a burstje, ami egy egyszerű damage és ennyi volt. De nem mintha nem lenne hasznos az, hogy kővédelmezti őket, de ugyanakkor meg Nuvi lett az Nuvi lett. A top main DPS jelenleg a játékban. Mi a véleményed a csillagok mesteréről?
Are you believers too?
Hát azt azért nem
After
mondanám.
my fiancé had been left, I cried every day. But then I turned to the Master of Stars for help. At his suggestion, I started burning paintings of my fiancé and
Jó, azt
casting
meg
the
hozzá
ashes
kell
into the
tenni,
ocean
hogy
at
azért,
sunrise.
hogy tényleg annyira kiemelkedő legyen, ahhoz úgy kell buildelni Nuvilettet, és nekem soha nem esnek a statok. Tehát tudom, hogy nekem az egy örökké valóság lesz, hogy használható legyen.
I can't explain it, but it really worked. I know in my heart that he'll return. This is not some sort of positive thinking trick. I'm certain of it. I'm so overjoyed that I gave a portion of my wedding budget to the Master of Stars as an offering. After all, if not for him, I wouldn't be getting my fiancé back, in which case I wouldn't need it anyway.
Szóval lehúzod a népet.
What do you think? One's adherents may exaggerate a little, but they speak from the heart.
Vagy inkább a képzeletükből.
Surely you jest. There was once a senior adeptus, Xie Wuliang, known to the people as Liangzi. He said this: all things are connected. That which mortals call imagination is merely the bridge betwixt the spiritual and the material. In other words, their wishes are already on the path of transitioning into reality. Does this make things clearer?
Nem. Ja.
It makes them way more complicated. But basically what you're saying is that their wishes can come true, right?
Indeed. You are perceptive, my diminutive friend.
Okay. So we also have one other question.
Oh? You need but ask.
Miért hordasz maszkot?
One wanders among mortals, doing good and cleansing evil. One reveals not one's visage to avoid further disturbance to this realm than is necessary.
Muszáj rébuszokban beszélned.
Got it.
Now then, What are your wishes?
Szeretném tudni, hol van a testvérem.
One senses that a tragic tale lies behind this wish. So be it. This wish is not beyond one's power to grant, but first, one must see some proof of your faith.
Hit a bizonyítékra. Vagyis bizonyíték a hitemre. Azaz fizessenek le.
What's that supposed to mean?
The way of the adepti cannot be grasped from words alone. One must seek the profound truths that lie beyond them. Should you fail to perceive one's hidden meaning, then regrettably, one may lend you no aid.
What do we do? Paimon doesn't understand him at all.
Szerintem pénzt akar.
Oh, that's right. Some of those believers mentioned that they had to pay a pretty sum for the Adeptus' help, didn't they? Well, Paimon's not forking over anymore, and we don't have anything valuable enough on us. You don't even have a vision.
Jaj, nem, majd a Vision-t adjam neki, nem?
Hey, why don't we make him a tasty snack? No one can resist the temptation of good food, can they?
Nem biztos, hogy mindenkinek egyezik az értékrendje a tiéddel.
Yep, a tasty snack is sure to work. Why don't we head over to Wanwen Bookhouse and see if they got any new recipes in?
Mintha nem lenne elég receptem, Paimon. De menjünk.
So,
Yeah,
you'd like a
short
copy of Yaksha's The Guardian Adepti?
Yes. Here, and keep the change.
Oh, aren't you generous? Thank you for your patronage.
Egy...
Hey, isn't that, Star
Na most
Stepper?
a jaksák
It's running into him again.
hordanak maszkot. Most, hogyha ő egy jaksa, akkor a francnak kell neki egy könyv a jaksákról.
Did you hear the name of the book he just bought? Was it Yaksha's The Guardian Adepti? Well, anyway, it was definitely a book about the Adepti. Why would an Adeptus want to buy a book about himself?
Igen. Nekem már eddig is gyanús volt.
Really? What's so fishy about him?
Hát bűzlik. Halszaga van. Miért kéne egy adeptusnak móra az emberektől?
That's a good point.
Az adeptusok azok nem foglalkoznak földi javakkal.
Paimon thinks we should check out that book. Maybe we'll find out something about this guy that we can use.
Zsifang. Jaj. Mellé kattintottam, de jó.
Hey there, we'd like a copy of Yaksha's The Guardian Adepti. Do you have one in stock?
Huh. Since when did that old chestnut become a bestseller? You're a rare breed of youngster if this is what you like to read. But you should be able to find a copy somewhere on that desk over there.
Ah.
So, are you buying or not?
This is the one! Let's see what it's all about, shall we?
In ancient times, Liyue was a land of misery, where the shadow of evil loomed large. As slain gods festered, their vengeful wrath cursed the world, manifesting in infernal forms. When demons stirred, miasmas, monsters, and mutations infested the land. Then Rex Lapis summoned the Yakshas to vanquish the demons. They swore an oath: restore order through slaughter, purge evil through battle. To this, we dedicate our lives. Eons of bloodshed later, karmic debt weighed upon them, phantom wrath seeping into their broken souls. They went mad with fear, turned on each other, or succumbed to the darkness. Of the 5 foremost Yakshas, death came to 3. while the fourth vanished without a trace.
De
In
már
the millennia
megtaláltuk.
since, one conqueror of demons remains the sole surviving Yaksha in the mortal realm. And only on moonlit nights, in the glow from Guyon, and in the sound of the Dihua flute, is his memory preserved.
Ezt a negyedik eltűnt jaksát már megtaláltuk a Chasm questben. És ugyebár Shao maradt az utolsó élő jaksa.
A group of adepti who defend Liyue.
Ami azért érdekes, mert ez a csávó akkor nem lehet jaksa.
Seems like a pretty niche topic. Was there anything that stood out to you? The book says that the wrathful spirits of the gods defeated during the Archon War can sometimes cause plagues, monsters, or mutations. All of which sound pretty horrendous. Hey, wait a second! Paimon wonders if... Do you think those super evil hilly churls we saw earlier were the mutations that the book's talking about?
Elképzelhető.
The book says that the Yakshas, after fighting against the wrath of the gods for thousands of years, became bound by karma. Poisoned by the hateful thoughts of the gods, the Yakshas would often descend into indescribable fits of terror, rage, or agony. It's so tragic. After everything they went through in all of their years of protecting Liyue, they got no reward and had to deal with so much suffering instead. So,
igen.
there used to be 5 main Yakshas, but supposedly only one of them is still alive today. Do you think that it could have anything to do with that Star Snatcher guy?
Erősen kétlem, mivel ismerjük az utolsót.
No, surely not. He doesn't exactly give off the impression that he's been suffering for thousands of years. Yep, Paimon thinks we've already summed up all the key points. So back to the matter at hand. The things we need answers on are 1, where did those super evil-looking hilly churls come from? And 2, what does Star Snatcher have to do with the Yakshas, right? Now
Yep.
to head back to where this all started and commence our investigation. Let's part the fog of mystery that hangs over Dwayne Karst and let the truth shine through in its full glory.
Szóval most már detektíveket játszunk?
To be honest, Paimon actually hopes he is a real adeptus. His exorcism technique seemed real enough at least. But if we get our hopes up, there's further for them to come down. So it makes sense to investigate thoroughly first, just to be sure. Alright, let's head back to Wangshu Inn!
Let's do that. Okay. Beszélgessünk Star Snatcher úrral. Ó, még több Richard. Egy talizmánt használt az előbb.
Flee at my command, foul demons! Flee! Why won't you flee?
Már nem tudok Richardről.
Uh-oh, looks like Star Snatcher's in trouble! And there are innocent bystanders here too! We have to step in!
Igazad van, Paimon. Na, jó uram, meséljen!
Oh, I don't get it. Why didn't the Sigil of Permission do anything? Has the evil aura of these hilly churls grown in intensity?
Sigil of Permission, huh? Now why does that sound familiar? Right! It's a keepsake of the Adepti, so it must still contain traces of their power!
Igen, de az erő elfogy
No
belőle.
wonder he was able to scare those monsters away earlier!
What are you two babbling on about? One is merely underslept, meaning that one's adeptal power is not in full flow. Were
Yeah,
one but given another opportunity.
Well,
Oh.
as it happens, there goes another bunch of evil hilly churls over there. Should we leave them to you then?
One suddenly feels ill at ease. Surely one has overexpended one's adeptal powers. Otherwise, one would surely purge these infernal beings at once.
Majd, hogyha olyanokat csinálsz, mint Shao, amikor menekültünk ki a kezemből, akkor elhiszem, hogy megerőltetted magad, meg túlhasználtad az erődet.
Come on, traveler. Looks like it's up to us. Use your elemental sight and hunt them down.
Igenis, főnök. Ó, hát azok már elpihentek. Shao segített nekik lefeküdni, aludni.
Paimon was just wondering who could have made
Sorry, túl közel mentem.
I remember you.
Hát még én.
I was purging some living beings that had been tainted by the demonic. It would appear that I have caused you some trouble.
Nah.
He isn't usually this polite. What's going on? But you are exorcising demons. How is that causing trouble?
That is because the changes that occurred in these monsters stem from me. Or more precisely, from the karma I have accumulated.
Mutations? Karma?
Szóval terjeszted a karmát.
Does that mean...
Előbb olvastunk róla a könyvben, Paimon.
Yeah! Paimon remembers that Xiao is also called the Vigilant Yaksha, isn't he? So that means... Oh... Poor Xiao!
Olvastunk a múltadról egy könyvben.
I see. You must mean that piece of literati fan fiction from a few hundred years ago. All things are impermanent, and to exist is to suffer. We Yakshas have no need of sympathy or tears. My comrades who have passed on would see your tears as a stain upon their legacy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It matters not. In any case, I am on my way to purge a cavern of demonic influence, so we shall part ways here.
Wait! Take us with you! We'll be a big help! Paimon promises!
Így van.
No need. I am used to fighting alone. And in any case, these mutations originated from me to begin with.
Well then... Oh! Consider it Paimon's penance for being accidentally rude just now!
Well, come on then.
Yay, segíthetünk.
So, Xiao, you've been suffering from the bad karma all this time?
Suffering is my price to pay for eons of endless slaughter. I have come to accept this. But in recent years, other living things have suffered, when the burden should be mine alone to bear. I must reflect on this.
I see.
Ooh, this place gives Paimon goosebumps.
I will use the ritual known as the Bane of All Evil to relieve this place of its karma. You must remain calm. Do not allow yourself to be affected by the lingering wrath of bygone gods.
Halálosan nyugodt vagyok.
Disappear! Useless!
Gondoltam majd besegítek a többiekkel, aztán meg nem is használtok senkit, csak Shaut.
Bane of all evil. That must be the power you got for being a vigilant yaksha, right? Paimons just
Yep.
realized that you only wear your mask when you're fighting the bad guys. But that Star Snatcher guy wears his mask the rest of the time too.
Star Snatcher. I am aware of no adeptus by such a name.
So he is a fraud! Well,
Lament!
we'll need this discussion later. You should focus on your battle for now.
Ah! Hát jó, akkor szétverjük. Szép jó estét kívánok az uraknak! Oh shit! Kis hián az életünkbe került.
Worthless! Get out of my way!
Na! Hova mész? Tessék levetni azt a shieldet magadról.
It is good that we came here. An unusual number of living things had fallen under infernal influence. Had we not arrived in good time, the consequences would have been unthinkable. Now, this Star Snatcher you speak of, what is the situation?
Ooh, Paimon will tell you.
An adeptus
Paimon
who
the
grants
snitch.
wishes. To think that people could be so easily deceived by such blatant lies.
As an adeptus, do you have the power to grant wishes, Xiao?
The Liyue of yesteryear would never ask the Adepti for boons unearned. Millennia ago, the ancestral people of Liyue asked for nothing more than the strength to defend the land they called their home.
To be honest, an adepti who grants people's wishes is probably more appealing to people nowadays.
However feeble people nowadays may be, they are not my concern. I concern myself only with following Rex Lapis's original decree.
Oops. Paimon spoke without thinking again. Oh, one more thing. That fake adeptus has a sigil of permission. It's what he uses to exorcise demons.
Wait, truly? Fool. Exorcising demons without exterminating them. It is no wonder they have been congregating here.
Yeah.
If this continues, things may spiral out of even my control. We must confiscate his sigil of permission.
Kobozzuk el tőle? Ennyi? Ennyi az egész?
Great minds think alike! Paimon agrees. We've got to show that trickster what you get for trying to fool us. And it just so happens that we've got a real adeptus with us too. If Xiao were to teach Star Snatcher a lesson, you can bet he'll never dare to pose as an adeptus ever again.
No. I only slay demons. I do not kill mortals.
Nem is úgy gondoltuk, hogy ölt meg, hanem mondjuk yes rá, vagy valami.
Said anything about killing him.
Igen, pontosan.
It would certainly benefit Liyue if we could convince him to cease his wicked ways. I possess an art called Dream Trawler. It is normally used to separate the soul from the body, that one might cultivate oneself in a waking dream. But it can also be used to call forth the spirits of others.
Whoa. Now that's a real adepti art for ya.
Tehát hasonló, mint az álmok és vizsonok ajándékozása?
A ritual must be performed for this art to be used. Assist me in gathering a few items. A censer, 7 lamps, and something to reduce the temperature.
Reduce the temperature. Oh, some mist flowers will probably do, right? But as for the censer and the 7 lamps... Probably not the kinds of things they're gonna just stumble across in the wild.
Do you know of the 2 Yaksha statues that stand guard beside a merchant road on the southern face of Mount Tianheng? The ancestors of the people of Liyue built shrines there to honor the Yakshas. You should still be able to find some ceremonial items there. Once you have found them, meet me at the Yaksha statues after nightfall, and I will teach you how to use this art.
Szuper! Akkor megyünk és keresünk füstölőt és lámpásokat.
Spirit soars the mountains high, while the body rests as the world goes by.
Pervases.
Sorry to interrupt you, but...
Szeretnénk elkérni ezt a füstölőt és néhány lámpást.
Well, I'll be. Isn't that something? A pair walk into a shrine, neither to seek nor worship gods or adepti, but to pilfer the tools of worship for their own ends.
We know it's rude to ask, but we just need them for a short while. Honest.
For the Dream Trawler ritual, I trust.
How'd you know that?
I have been in the shrine for far longer than you would expect. Perhaps as a reward for my faithfulness, I have been endowed with some understanding of the adepti arts.
Wow. Paimon's never heard of that happening before.
It matters not. Take what you need. It is a fortuitous thing that these items may be of service to you. They serve little purpose here, in any case.
Hát akkor köszönjük szépen.
You are quite welcome. Please, take what you wish.
Ja.
This sensor should be fine, right?
És mit csináljunk vele? Zsebre rakjuk? Vagy hogy gondoltad?
So next, we just need to grab the 7 star lamps, right? The sooner we start, the sooner we'll be done.
Egy. Meg egy Firefly. 2. 3. És ott meg a maradék 4.
Paimon thinks we've got all the ones we can use now. But let's say bye to that guy before we leave, shall we?
Aki nincs itt.
Huh? Where'd he go? He was right here.
I had presumed that once you had acquired
came for, you would forget about me and simply be on your way.
It's that guy's voice! Hello? Where are you?
My physical form ceased to exist over 1,000 years ago. What you witnessed earlier was an illusion, created by the adepti art known as mortal lingering. Now that you have taken the 7-star lamps and censer used in the mortal lingering ritual, my form is no longer visible to you.
Szóval te egy szellem vagy?
I was once a junior in the Order of the Yakshas, bestowed with the name Pervases by Rex Lapis himself. Yet my strength failed, and I was slain in battle. Today is the anniversary of my death. My last wish was to see a modern Liyue, and so I took the liberty of performing this ritual here. That aside, you were sent here by the Conqueror of Demons, were you not?
Hát te mindent tudsz.
You two know each other then?
I sense his aura upon you. That and the heavy burden of his karma. Even after all these millennia, he still must endure such tremendous suffering. I am truly ashamed.
Don't say that, Pervases. You sacrificed your life for Liyue, didn't you?
Life is a precious thing, yes. But when I think of the burden that the Conqueror of Demons must bear, death seems to me to have been the easy way out. A selfish indulgence.
Hát ez is egy nézőpont, de
Pervases.
azért nem kéne így gondolni rá.
Birthdays are joyful occasions, but by the same token, it is hard not to be melancholy on the anniversary of one's death.
Ez is micsoda időzítés, hogy pont Pervases halálának évfordulóján értünk ide.
Take care, you two, and please pass on my regards to the Conqueror of Demons.
Te is vigyázz magadra, Pervases.
If only I could taste some authentic grilled tickerfish once more. By wave and storm I hunt for fish. By wind and snow I slay evil.
Huh? Looks like he's gone then. Paimon really hopes that at least someone will remember Pervases the Yaksha. We should get going. But let's come back here and make an offering sometime.
Szerencsére nem sérültünk meg, mert csak kicsit estünk, majd most. Szándékosan távolabb ugrok. Ne legyek olyan magason, ha véletlenül triggerelem az átvezető videót. Jó, éjszaka kell jönni. Shit. Yep. Jó, akkor csinálunk egy olyat addig, hogy Yao-Yao-nak kell farmolnom búzát. És ma lehet búzát farmolni. Hogy gyorsan 3-szor neki megyünk.
Umbrella warfare, I guess. Hey there!
Can't run from death.
Ah!
Can't run from death.
Valóban, de te sem. Egy. Még így se lesz elég, hogy húzzunk a talentjén, de legalább elmondhatjuk, hogy farmoltunk egy picit.
Hey there! Can't run from
bunkó. Azt hiszed, hogy elfutsz?
This one's got your name on it.
Azt hitte, hogy majd ő elbújik. Olyan ritka ezekből az aranyszínű, hogy arra nincs szó.
Umbrella warfare, I guess.
Ah!
Leaving so soon?
Hát jó.
This one's got your name on it.
Can't run from it.
Oké. Bah, legalább most 3-at adott, még az is ritka. Oké, hát előtte híreljünk be. Úgyis még így is kell pörgetni az időn. Megint nem használtam a tárgyat. Mindig elfelejtem benyomni. Na mindegy. Éjszaka kell jönni, de azt nem mondod, hogy mikor éjszaka, mondjuk megnézzük este 8-at. Az már eléggé éjszaka. So?
Have you gathered the items for the ritual?
Bizony.
This sensor and these lamps. Their designs are flawless, almost as if they were made specifically for use in the Adepti arts. Where did you come by them?
Tulajdonképpen egy Pervasive nevű jaksától kaptuk.
Oh, and he
Ja,
says
és
hi.
üdvözöl. Ne felejtsük átadni.
Pervasives. Yes. This does have the hallmarks of something Pervasives might do. As I thought, it seems that he could not leave Liyue behind, either. I hope that its present state will allow him to rest in peace. Well then, let us begin preparing for the ritual. Place the censer in the middle, and surround it with the 7 star lamps. Adorn the area with the items of abject cold. Once this is done, we shall proceed.
Értettem.
Yes, this will do. Now, the next step is the key to performing Dream Trawler. There are 4 steps to performing this ritual. Offering incense, meditation, incantation, and loosing an arrow.
Ezt az utolsót nem egészen értem.
Seems like a real rigmarole.
Adepti arts are the product of millennia of study by Adepti. Do not dismiss their mystical workings as rigmarole. Failure to take this seriously could cause the technique to devour one's own body, or cause the spirit to be sundered from one's flesh permanently.
Igen.
Stop talking. I'm sorry.
Szóval egy elég veszélyes
When
művelet.
offering the incense, we place the incense into the censer with reverence for Rex Lapis in our hearts. Meditation is to empty ourselves of trivial thoughts, and to focus on the target of the art we are performing. Then we shall recite the incantation in a loud voice. Devayaksha, bring forth sin! Finally, we will loose an arrow towards each of the Yaksha statues to enlist their authority for our contract. If all goes well, Star Snatcher's soul will be brought forth shortly.
Megértettem.
If you have no other questions, let us begin.
Then we meditate. doesn't want to think about that fraud. Bring forth sin! It looks like the Yaksha statues are glowing at the waist.
Csak hogy nincs ijászom. Nem. Kivesszük védőhelyet. Nem is védőhelyet, Bennett helyet berakunk egy faruzántja. Jó lesz. Oké.
We finished the ritual! And we followed all the instructions to the letter.
Mhm.
Close enough.
Kösz.
Leave the rest to me. You two get ready to greet him.
Ha.
There is one. Huh? You two look familiar. What's with one's body? One feels light, weightless.
Megidéztük a lelkedet.
An adepti art? You dare don the guise of an adeptus in one's presence. But as for the matter of one's present location, one could have sworn that one was dozing off to sleep at Wangshu Inn not a moment ago. Wait, that must be it. Of course it must. As expected of an adeptus such as oneself, one must indeed be in a dream.
There's no helping this guy, is there?
Szerintem nem álmodsz.
What is the meaning of this? Do you truly think that one will permit such insolence in one's own dreams?
Alright, time to take him down a peg.
Hát hello!
Such impertinence. Where are one's followers when one needs them?
Psst, eltűnt a csávóba.
Please stop. I surrender. I surrender.
Na, akkor most már hiszel nekünk?
Yes, yes, I do. Oh, I thought I was gonna die.
Megoldható.
Oh, how did I ever have the misfortune to meet you two? Please, great adepti, spare my life. I won't do this ever again, I swear it.
We did call your spirit here, but we're not adepti. He, however, is.
You deceive the masses with quackery. Masquerade as an adeptus. Exorcise demons without exterminating them. And display a callous lack of regard for life. One day, you will reap that which you have sown. For those who invite the infernal into their lives, there is no redemption.
You're...
Seems like Xiao's got him scared stiff.
Helyes.
Oh, great
Meg is érdem.
adeptus. Might I ask your name?
Ő a démonok hódítója.
It really is you. It's truly you. Never in my life did I imagine that I might meet the conqueror of demons, the vigilant Yaksha himself.
You know about Xiao?
Of course. My grandfather was a folklorist. I learned the tales of the conqueror of demons at his knee. To this day, I'm an avid collector of books concerning the Yakshas.
Azt láttuk.
But ever since I discovered a sigil of permission while rummaging through my grandfather's personal effects, at first, I was just imitating the adepti for fun. But slowly, I began to stray further and further from the righteous path.
Huh. So to sum you up, you're Xiao's biggest fan?
Yes. Thank you both for allowing me to witness the conqueror of demons in the flesh. It's like a dream come true.
That wasn't quite our intention.
Please allow me to swear this oath before the great conqueror of demons. I swear to turn away from evil, to live an honest life, and to never again stain the name of the adepti.
I will remember your oath.
Yeah.
Thank you. 1,000 thanks for your forgiveness, and for all that you have done for Leah.
He seemed very earnest when he was making that oath there. Guess he won't be tricking anyone anymore. Oh, wait. We haven't gotten the sigil of permission back yet. Let's head over to Wangshuin first thing tomorrow and look for him.
Yep, nem egy rossz gondolat. Ezt el kéne venni tőle. Míg véletlenül se jusson eszébe még egyszer ilyen hülyeséget csinálni.
Hey there, boss. Star Snatcher's staying here, right?
Star Snatcher. You mean the false adeptus who wore a mask? He signed in here under the name Wang Ping An.
Elég normális név.
He's already checked out.
Átlagos.
He said he wished to go on a solo pilgrimage. Ah, yes. He also requested that I give this letter to a traveler who journeys together with a talking fairy. Should they come asking for him?
Paimon a beszélő tündér. Ez csodálatos.
Well, anyway, you must be the traveler. Here's the letter.
How strange that he would leave a letter for us. Is this the final attempt to fool us, maybe? Come on, open it. Paimon's curious. Huh? Seems like he actually left us a few nice trinkets.
Ja, most még vissza is adja az elvett
Along with...
tárgyakat és pénzt.
Paimon hasn't met a bad guy like him in a long time.
Shao-nak köszönhetjük.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go take the sigil of permission to Xiao, shall we?
Oksa. Ó, itt van helyben. Wait. Ja, fönt, persze, lefelé. Na, lent van, what? Ja, lehet, hogy jött kajálni, hát na.
There you are. We got the sigil of permission back. Do you want to take it?
You have my thanks.
May I take your order, sir?
One grilled tickerfish.
Ó,
Certainly. We'll prepare it for you immediately.
Huh. No almond tofu this time? Well, that's not like Xiao.
gondolom, mivel eszébe juttattuk Pervészt. Az emlékére eszik.
Pervasi's
Ja.
favorite dish. I just wanted to see how it tastes. By wave and storm I hunt for fish. By wind and snow I slay evil. Was there anything else? I am accustomed to eating alone.
Ja, akkor békén hagyunk, jó étvágyat.
And so, Detective Paimon and the trusty traveler solved the case and quietly slipped away.
Oké. Csak szép csendben. Nehogy felzaklassuk Shao-t. Na. Van-e még egy story questünk mára? Mégpedig Kazuháé. Az egy picit messzebb van. Nézzük meg. Na, ezt a story questet még soha nem láttam. Ugyebár az inazumásokat nem csináltam még soha. Nem akartok nekem jönni.
It's been a while since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened since then.
És mindez egy szempillantás alatt.
Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today?
Várj egy pillanatot.
Huh? What's up?
Valaki jön.
Hey, what the heck was that for?
Hirtelen támadó.
Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little. Dare to mess with me?
Oh shit, nem választottam vissza Bennetre.
Huh? So you
Elég
don't
hamar
have a vision
feladtad.
after all. Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you got the right person before you go attacking them. No,
Hát az biztos.
Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha?
Oh,
He carries a sword just like
ismerős.
you. I've also heard that he possesses an animal vision.
És miért is keresed?
That's none of your business.
Hát mivel megtámadtál, úgy érzem, hogy igenis közöm van hozzá.
Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
Megtámadjuk most mi is, csak úgy.
This guy's problem. Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize. Seems like a real nutcase. Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about Kazuha.
Nem is tudnék ennél jobban egyetérteni.
Right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy gets to challenge Kazuha to a duel, he won't be able to beat him. Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back. Oh? What kind of hunch?
Szerintem ennek a csávónak valami különleges kapcsolata van Kazuhával.
A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other?
Hasonló a küzdési módszerük.
Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they start fighting, so that doesn't really prove anything. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
Oké, Riton 1000 éve nem jártunk. És ha már itt vagyunk, akkor gyorsan visszarakjuk Bennettet.
Gonna be epic.
Yeah. Very epic. Jó nagyot kívánok!
Hey! Hello? Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all.
Mi is?
Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did?
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hito.
Ó, mondjuk, ja, az azért híressé tenni az embert.
Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable.
Lehet, hogy a Shogunét megpróbálja kicsit jóvá tenni a dolgokat.
Guess we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryo Commission.
All right then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Oh shit! Azt hittem, hogy Riton kell majd oda menni a commissionerhez vagy valami. Nem gondoltam, hogy eljövünk a sziget másik végébe. Oh.
Oh? It's you.
It's me.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaedahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed?
Hallottunk már ezt-azt.
In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaidahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun, and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the
Igen, ezt
elements.
gondolkodtam, hogy megjegyezzem, de akartam mondani, hogy szerintem már hozzászokott a vándorláshoz.
Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaidahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaidahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaidahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
Ja, mondjuk azt el tudom képzelni.
What? But
hogy így elkezdenek pletykák terjedni.
using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes!
Hát igen, az
We
úgy
nearly
volt.
forgot about the most important thing.
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me?
Nincsenek véletlenül testvéreid?
No. This puzzles me as much as it does you.
Bár nem is hasonlított rád.
My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaidahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back. This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked her, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Úgy lesz.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to
Hogy
say.
megváltozott a világítás. Na. Detective Ryuji. Ryuji.
Hey there! We'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaidahara Kazuha, we mean.
Bárki, hát az egész sziget oda mindegy.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? Of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait. Even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaidehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads, and I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
Csak hogy találjuk meg az űrgét?
Does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now.
Ilyen módon szoktál megdicsérni embereket?
I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Az biztos.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaidehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told,
Kazuha jó gyerek.
I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you. Oh, Actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though.
És mi lenne az?
Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Miért ismerős mind a kettő név?
Amenoma. Now there's a familiar name.
Ja, az nem a Kovács.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Toga,
Yeah.
the owner of Amenoma Smithy. 2 grown
Pontosan.
men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Kivizsgáljuk mind a két ügyet.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma Smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Szuper. Igen, itt van. Érdeklődjük meg.
If it isn't Kaede Harakazuha, what brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the 2 clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects.
Raiden Gokaden?
Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma. The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty Shogun, and over time, further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade. Today, only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, we each had our specialties, and just as iron sharpens iron, so too did we learn much from each other. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wield.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew.
Ja, tényleg majdnem el is felejtettük, hogy nyomozásba vagyunk.
We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryo Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryou Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift.
Huh.
I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse. And neither of them came back.
Tűz? Arról még nem hallottunk.
Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person.
Mondjuk, elég különleges kard volt a csávó kezében. Mi van, ha befolyásolja a tulajdonosa vagy hordozója gondolatait vagy elmeállapotát? Mert volt egy aurája annak a fegyvernek.
He has never gotten into a fight before.
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry, you have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Hát még a Nagato családot is ki kell faggatnunk.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
Lehet, hogy ott esetleg megtudunk valamit a kard eredetéről. Mivel, hogy Nagatótól szerezte volna be a kardot. Ismerős ez az útvonal. Egyszer már jártunk erre.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh. What happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance.
Biztos, hogy annak a fegyvernek köze van az
I'm happy
egészhez.
he has a hobby and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words,
Egy
he
gyors
froze.
egészségügyi szünetet,
for a
amíg
long
zajlik a
time.
beszélgetés.
When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
Ez olyan tipikus, hogy kiteszem az ajtón lábam, és abban a pillanatban válaszolnom kell. Helyesen
Had I
cselekedtél.
not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand. Amin Omayuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amin Omayuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Yeah.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Érdekes. Tehát, a Kovácsnak a
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance.
Kovácsnak a rokona akart venni a nagybátyjának egy különleges kardot Nagatótól, akinek a feleségével most beszéltünk, aki egy gyűjtő, és valami történt Nagatóval, és megszállottan elkezdett kardokat gyűjteni, vagyis fegyvereket gyűjteni. És miközben ez a tranzakció végbe ment a raktárhelyiségükben, egyrészt kigyulladt a raktár, nem tudni hogyan, másrészt eltűnt mind a két résztvevő. És mindez hozzájön, hogy keresi Kazuhát megszállottan keresi Kazuhát egy szamuráj, egy elég különleges karddal a kezében, aminek konkrétan aurája van. Sziasztok! Szia Usahima, köszönöm szépen a raidet. Mi a helyzet? Ti is Genshin-eztetek? Szóval most ott tartunk, hogy próbáljuk összerakni a szálakat.
The warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery.
Mi ott csináltatok? Mainedet vitted, vagy challenge-eztél?
Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
Elképzelhető, hogy kialakult valami vita köztük a csere
That
közben,
is the most likely
vagy
conclusion
eladás
based on
közben.
everything we know. What started as a disagreement over the price escalated and ultimately turned into a tragedy. However, in this case, only one of the parties would have started the fire. That would make the other party innocent, and they would have no reason to hide themselves from the public.
Az tény.
If this is indeed what happened, and the innocent man hasn't come forward yet, then it suggests they may have already lost their life. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive.
Egyik se
Neither seems
tűnik
like the
olyan
type of
embernek.
person who is inclined towards initiating conflict.
Érdekes szituáció. Abyssal haladtál el? Ez most az ingyenes karakteres challenge-ed?
Mr. Nagato,
Azon
being
próbált?
heavily
Azon
in
nyomtad?
debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there?
Úgy tűnik, hogy valamilyen módon ez az egész kapcsolódik a támadónkhoz is.
Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two
Darn!
birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
9-es, az igen. Én agyaltam, ugye, mert mondtam, hogy én is tervezek majd challenge-eket, és kitaláltam, hogy majd a 30 csillag lesz a cél. Hogy azt mondjam, hogy végeztem a challenge-el. Azért 36-ra rámenni, az kicsit kemény lenne. Olyan karakterekkel, amit nem tudok befolyásolni. Még azt se tudom a 30, hogy lesz meg. Na, nézzük meg azt a raktárat. Meg hát aztán belegondoltam amúgy a challenge-edbe, hogy az ingyenes karakterekkel még lehet, hogy nehezebb, mint nekem a standard bannerrel, mert tény, hogy kaphatok ott nagyon szar karaktereket, de azért nekem ott eshet 5 csillagos például, ha van egy kis szerencsém, és nem spammeli a 4 csillagosokat előtte. Bár mondjuk az sem mindegy, hogy milyen 5 csillagos, mert például megszórhat egy csicsivel.
Sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
Tudtam, hogy számíthatunk rád.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere. It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatarigami.
Na, erre nem számítottam, hogy ilyesmibe futunk itt bele.
Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Na mondd, melyik irányba ment. Ó, megyünk automatikusan.
So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below.
Zeno, vagy Zeno, ha rosszul ejtem, akkor javíts ki, de köszönöm szépen a követést.
The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since
Úgy
left
tűnik,
this
hogy
place.
egy föld alatti
Residue it left
raktárba
behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from
megyünk
the
le.
concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself.
Azon gondolkodom, ez a Tatarigami source, ez lehet, hogy ez lesz az a kard. De annak ránézésre is volt valami befolyása
It could well be that
a
he was already
viselőjére.
under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time.
Azért csak észrevette volna valaki, nem?
From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters.
De egyébként így az újaknak elmondom, hogy tulajdonképpen egy Genshin végigjátszást csinálunk. Ez az első teljes végigjátszásom lesz, mivel az összes korábbi fiókon, aminek nekiálltam, Inazuma elején megcsüngtem. Jelenleg viszont már Sumeruban tartunk, és jelenleg az a forma zajlik, hogy egy héten 2 rész megy. Egy Story Quest-es rész, illetve egy Archon Quest-es rész, és így próbálunk haladni, illetve körülbelül 2 hét múlva a Subnautikát a csatornán felváltja egy újabb Genshin sorozat, ami challenge-ezéssel fog telni nálam is. Ha esetleg érdekel titeket, akkor nagyon szívesen várok mindenkit.
But most will develop a
Érdekes lesz,
stubborn
az
streak upon
biztos.
being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions.
Már nagyon várom, hogy igazából egy hónapja nagyon várom, hogy nekiálljak a challenge-eknek, csak le akartam zavarni előtte egy pár dolgot a
Mr. Nagato
csatornán.
had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside.
Ez veszélyes.
If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't
Teljesen
worry.
igazad van.
Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
Akkor menjünk le. Vagy ne.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
Nem tudom eldönteni, hogy ez most egy jó vagy rossz dolog. Lényegében beomlott az egész raktár.
Sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us.
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left this place. 2 ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them.
Akkor siessünk.
Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you too will perceive its ominous presence in the wind.
Hát nem vagyok kazuha, de... Aha, I see. Akkor mégis kazuha vagyok. Kiszagolom a veszélyt. Oh.
From this point, the trail appears to split into 2.
Tehát lehet, hogy mind a 2 ember
The main
Itt
source of
járt.
the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here and seems to be dissipating slowly.
Tehát Nagato és Yuya?
Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Igenis, főnök.
Look at all
Whoa.
those hilly churls. They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Feeling lucky?
Ne.
Umbrella warfare, I guess. Hiya!
It's...
Ooh, look at this red stuff. What is it?
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well, let's take a look.
Nagato. Yuya megsebezte, az érdekes. És ellopta a kardját. Ha. Az érdekes.
According to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato.
Tehát akkor a kard valamilyen módon megszállta Yuyát. Mivel alapvetően nem ilyen embernek ismeri senki sem.
Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
So,
Tehát akkor elméletileg...
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us.
Igen, azt sejtettem. Tehát úgy tűnik, hogy Nagatót elvesztettük.
Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here.
Majd később beszéljünk a Tenryou Commissionnel, hogy nézzék át a környéket.
Right now, we need to uncover some more important truths. If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately,
Akkor lehet, hogy mégis Yuya támadt meg minket.
The more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Right, so let's get moving.
Hogy jutottunk
I
ide?
wouldn't be surprised if he too fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a
Biztos lehetsz
practitioner of the
benne.
martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Wait, you figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person. On with the search.
Hát keressük meg
We
gyorsan.
must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger.
Oh, Jesus. Szóval eljött erre a kis szigetre.
He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time.
Többször is ide
Show
jött.
yourself. It's no use hiding anymore.
Ő volt az szerintem.
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before. What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Ame Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Ame Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
A karddal szállunk szembe?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange
Lehet, hogy
light.
tudom én, belezárták valakinek a lelkét, aki haragszik Kazuhára.
Whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Ame Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition.
Tehát Kaedehara klán.
In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams.
Kaedehara klán forgácsolta ezt a kardot.
As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So... swords can become conscious and control people?
Olyan furi, mi?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. But that gave me the opportunity to take action. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home.
Tehát a lényeg, hogy volt egy 5 családból álló ilyen kovács közösség, vagy szövetség, vagy nem tudom minek mondjam, és bár nem emlékszem az okára, mert mondták még korábban a Story Quest elején, de hogy el kellett hagyniuk. A Fatui valahogy elcsalta őket Snezhnajába, és ott kovácsolták ezt a kardot, aki viszont nem viselte el, hogy nem a Raiden Shogun részére lett kovácsolva, és ezért elkezdte hogy mondjam, megszállni az embereket, amíg egészen Inazumáig vissza nem jutott, és bosszút akar állni, amiért nem tudta betölteni a célját. Érdekes. Szembe akar szállni Raiden Shogun kardjával, hogy bebizonyítsa, hogy ő a jobb.
So Ame Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired or injured or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful.
Yeah.
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenoma Yuya's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun. Kaede Harakawa,
Tehát Kazuhát
who stood
akarja
against the Raiden
megfertőzni.
Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me!
Oh, szia.
The wind knows of me.
Time to go.
Let my name echo in song!
Join me and sever that divine light!
Watch out!
Submit to me! Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Meghalt Kazuhám, vagy ez mi volt?
Your bluff's fooling
Valaki meghalt. És most nem tudom, hogy most ő rádobta be az effektet, vagy Kazuha valamitől megfeküdt, pedig volt élete.
Lost. I can never lose.
Érdekes
It is this
volt.
body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will.
Kivéve a darabokra zúzunk.
The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure. By any means necessary, and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past.
Az, hogy te jöttél vissza
I've been
Kazuhát
wondering
keresni,
why
de
you've
semmi
not
gond.
caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching his collectibles.
Yeah.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Amenoma Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life, even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired? Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Tehát pont az ellenkezőjét csinálja a kard, mint amire szánták.
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his demand.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Amenoma Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
Elég kockázatos stratégia.
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the Blade's puppet. The Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Legyen.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Szóval Kazuha átveszi a kardot. És van egy fogadásuk. Olyan ellenfelet keres Kazuha, amit a kard nem tud megverni, és akkor feladja a kard az egész tervét.
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected.
Ha bármi nem stimmel, szólj azonnal.
I will. Thank you.
Mi van Yuyával közben?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild. Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
Ah, all right.
Stimmel.
Please lead the way.
What about Amenoma Yuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, He is not in any immediate
Ja, hogy
danger.
még mindig befolyásolja a kard annak ellenére, hogy Kazuha kezében van. Az
Sure,
komoly.
this is a good idea. It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay, fine. Just be careful.
Szóval... Honnan megyünk? Most esik le, hogy még nem csináltam meg a reputation se. Szerintem nem. Akkor ha marad időnk, akkor azt fogjuk meglesni. Ezt nem akartam! Misclick volt! Au! Fuck! Jaj, ez nagy misclick volt. Shit! Akkor már behírelünk mindenkit. Fú. Abszolút nem ez volt a terv. Hol megyek? Értem. Megyünk vissza, ahol a balhé zajlott. Kazuha mondjuk. Figyelj, a biztonság kedvéért egy pici boostot adok neked, jó?
It's my lucky day! Into the wind! The wind knows me. Finally, There's a fairy.
Oh shit.
Into the wind.
Nem sikerült időbe dodge-olni.
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, he is instead trying to match my fighting rhythm. Let's keep going.
Akkor menjünk tovább. Láda, azért nézelődtem körbe.
It's my lucky day. The wind knows me.
Muszáj volt elvenni a burst-öt külön? Csak így kérdem.
Into the wind. Finally, wind strike. The fairy. Finally, let's get down to business. Clouds high. The birds call. Very high. Very high.
Something's up with the blade.
Halványul.
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
But what would that do to Amano Mayuya?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily. He's still trying to achieve his goal.
Akkor harmadik forduló.
Into the wind. Falling leaves, adorn my night!
Na mi a helyzet, Kard?
It looked like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time, we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about? Huh? What the? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
Nem bírta a
If you
gyűrődést.
choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy.
És hallgatni fog rád?
I finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take them down!
Murayama!
Where do they keep coming from?
Hát, hogy nem kéne tovább harcolnod ezzel a karddal.
We can help this time.
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same.
Akkor maradunk azon. No.
The perfect distance.
One with nature.
I've got the upper hand.
Into the wind.
Cheap trick.
The wind knows me.
Cut down. Like this.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is. Perhaps I shall never reach that level of glory.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power, skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It is an integral part of my consciousness.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things.
Az igen.
When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breaths were weak, and his life near its end. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow. That was the Blade's memory, wasn't it?
Tutira.
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being trusted.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the Tatarigami, slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
Yeah.
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
Shame it's too late now.
Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
Rendben. Azért már körülnézek, de nincs láda. Na, beszélgessünk, Mr. Card.
I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma Yuya. But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Amenoma Yuya as promised. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot
Biztos.
milder.
Sokat fejlődött
What
szellemileg.
do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again. Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey. The next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to
javíts ki, ha rosszul ejtem a neved. Nem akarok senkit megsérteni.
true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore
Jó
his
így, köszönöm
consciousness.
szépen.
Perhaps after that, you can convince him to commit to a fight with you. He must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
Mi a helyzet, hogy vagy?
I see. He used my body.
Na, Yuya
to inflict
visszatért
harm on
közénk.
others. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryo Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention?
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
Mégpedig? Ott a láda, amit kerestem. Hova megyünk? Mi van itt?
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash.
Hát, ez sokkal nyugisabb alkalom volt.
Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that Blade hasn't told us everything. Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit sorry for him. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Ishin art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art, Amenoma Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
Okay.
Into the wind.
Time to go.
The wind knows me.
Time to go.
Into the wind.
Oh, ott volt egy rák.
As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
Wait, hova lettek? Na nézd már, elszalad!
The wind knows me.
Nope.
Thank you for the experience, although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you.
Yep.
Please understand this.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
Amúgy is Yuját is vissza kell kísérnünk vele. Ha! Nem szöktök meg. Akkor vissza a kovácshoz.
Oh, it's Yuya! You have returned!
I am sorry to have troubled you.
Még gondolom még a rossz hírt közölni kell majd a Nagato feleségével is.
A prized Ishin blade, turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. This is a great pity, but I have some good news as well. Ryuji, from the Bonton Sango Detective Agency, tells me that they've found the missing Mr. Nagato.
Really? Is he okay?
Yes. Badly wounded, but he will live.
Hey, legalább túlélte.
And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
Szerintem bízhatunk benne, sokat tanult ezen a kalandon.
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious. I have decided to let him do it.
Guess there's nothing we can say to change your mind, huh?
Te döntésed.
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness.
Aha. és véghez is viszik azok a irányítása alatt. Nem semmi. Tehát lényegében...
There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
Azt. Tehát tulajdonképpen az történt,
That's why he said it had to be done in that order.
hogy a kard átvette Kazuha fölött az irányítást, és közölte, hogy még újjá lehet kovácsolni, meg lehet javítani, viszont a lelke árán. És ezt meg is tette, amíg Kazuhát irányította, hogy még véletlenül se lehessen lebeszélni róla. És így Kazuha kezében tovább él.
His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really, really wanted to fulfill his maker's
Hűséges volt a készítőjéhez.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them. I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Köszönöm szépen.
Wait! Shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our
Ja,
investigation.
tényleg vissza kell még menned a commissionhez
And
is.
it's also time
A
to
Real
give him a response
Commissionhez.
to the offer he made me.
Kujo.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that no lives were lost. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanoma Yuya should conclude soon. I do not believe he will be charged with any crime.
Wow, you sure kept your
Nem is
ear to
lenne
the
szép.
ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please take a look at this blade.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaedehara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Ishin art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see. I understand.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not
Tényleg
our
ott még
intent.
nem zajlottak le rendesen a béketárgyalások azóta. Ha,
I am aware, but I still desire to
arra
continue
sor
walking
kerül
my
valaha?
own path.
Very well. I can understand.
Vagy marad örökre
Then
ez
let's
az
pretend this offer was
ellenállás,
never
hogy
raised.
nem jutnak közös nevezőre.
However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Jó kis küldi volt. Ó, megkaptuk a kardot. És ez nem is rossz Kazuhának. Ha. Mondjuk izét használja a sajátját. De lehet, hogy ez jobb lenne neki. Na nem mind a sokat használtam volna Kazuhát, mivel még nincs befejezve a karakter. Ja, én is szeretem. De még milyen jó érzés tud lenni. Főleg, ha egy hosszú küldiről beszélünk. Mondjuk egy aranara. De az mondjuk még mindig idegesít. Hol van az a vacak? Nem is emlékszem, hol van. Jesus. Vagy elvett? Nem, ott volt. Itt van. Még mindig van tennivalóm, nézd meg. Még egyszer valamikor rá kell szánnom magam, de nagyon nincs kedvem, megmondom őszintén. A fő szálat befejeztem, az nekem bőven elég is volt egyszerre. Na, tényleg van még feladatunk. Na nézzük. Harcolni kell. Az van. Az is van. Szuper. Na. 525 méter. Na hé. Vakarózni akarok, erre nem sikerül rákattintanom. Na, még lehet, hogy a bounty-kat is meg tudjuk csinálni, igazából van rá idő. Na aztán azon gondolkodtam el, hogy elmerjem-e kezdeni tölteni a pitit. De úgy vagyok vele, hogy pont akkor elmákolnám a karaktert, az biztos. Na nem mintha bánnék egy utalót mondjuk. Nahida is hasznos lenne. Aj, miért kell neked pont akkor? Oh.
Feeling lucky?
Hogy beteleportáltak oda, mint vége lett? Következő. 10 Iron Chunk. Ororon? Fú, te Ororon is mennyire jónak tűnik amúgy elsőre. Még nem találkoztam vele. Jó, nekem egyszer már volt egy olyan bannerem, amin csak azért húztam, mert Bennettet adta. És úgy tudtam megcsinálni C6-ra. Jézusom, már 2000 van ebből. Aztán neked meg White Iron. De nem emlékszem melyik banner volt ez, de azt tudom, hogy ott is jött egy... egy 5 csillagos ott is kiesett, és nem szándékoztam kihúzni. Ja, hát... nem, nagyon tetszik ez a... ez az Infusion, hát ez a burst, hogy Csaskánál is, meg Ororonnál is, hogy a Hydro és az Elektro karakterek vannak a csapatodban, akkor azok extra elementális sebzést okoz. Szerintem azért az elég komoly cucc. És pont emiatt szerintem OP-k lesznek. Aztán kérdés, hogy mennyire, de az biztos, hogy a felső 20%-ba be fognak kerülni szerintem. Na, ezt megcsináltuk. És pont nem lesz meg a 10-es szintünk, de még a bounty-t azt le tudjuk nyomni. Három standard nyitás. Nem standarden most abszolút nincs. De most még nem lesz bent standarden, nem? Majd a következőtől. Jön már be!
Power that ended high charge! That's enough! Hey there! Let's light it up! Hey there!
Ja, hogy 73. Na mondjuk a standarden nem tudom, hogy állok. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 44. Hát akkor én nekem még van. Azt, igen, azt nagyon oda akartam tenni. Mondom, én most soha nem tudtam összespórolni 50-et, és annyira kattintani akarok már. De még mennyi? Még 6 nap? Azt hiszem jövő hét... Ja, 6 nap. És akkor még csak Csaszkára tudok húzni. Nem tudom, tényleg nem tudom, mert most egymás után 3 banneren lesznek olyan karakterek, amiket nagyon szívesen húznék. És Zsonglit nem akarom elengedni, őt minden áron szeretném kihúzni. Úgyhogy most egy kicsit meg vagyok lőve, hogy merjek-e másra költeni. Mert nekem még könnyen jön a Primo, mert még sok van hátra a végigjátszásból. De ugyanakkor meg zsonglig, ha nem húzok senkire, lesz talán maximum 100 nyitásom. És az nem sok. Főleg amennyire utóbbi időben elmegy legalább 70 húzásig, az nagyon kiakaszt. Túl sok a karakter. Vagy nem tudom. Régen azért nem volt ilyen problémám, ott majdnem mindegyik karakter kijött ilyen 40-50 húzásból. Még amikor nem volt Inazuma. Tehát nagyon régen. Azóta van 3-szor annyi karakter a játékban, nem csoda, hogy nem esnek ki. Ja, hogy nincs betöltve? Ja, hát én meg nagyon nyomni akarom a bőrstöt. Nice. 300-zal megdobta a healt, hogy belehúztunk egyet Furin a talentjébe. Jaj, nem ilyet akarok. Csak vissza akarok menni, ezt is rendezni. Mondom, annyira nehezen tudom megállni, hogy belenyúljak valamelyikbe. Oké. 50 pontra vagyunk, hát még lesznek, majd küldik, de az a helyzet, most elengedtem a World Quest-eket. Ami automatikusan elindul, ha egy területre odaérek, azt megcsinálom offline, mert ugye nincs semmi szöveg, tehát például itt van ez a Golden Slumber, amikor leestek a sivatagba, a lyukba, azt majd egyszer valamikor megcsinálom. De mivel ezek nincsenek leszinkronizálva, inkább csinálom offline, mert annyira laposabbak, hogy nincs beszélgetés benne. Aztán következő alkalommal megint csinálunk 2 story questet. Szerintem akkor a 2 Inazumát megcsináljuk, hogy ezen túl legyünk. Jalmikót meg Ayatót. Aztán jönnek a szumerusok. Remélhetőleg addigra megnyílik a többi. Ja, van Baizhu is, várjál, az meg Liyue. What? Miért kellett ennyire hátra tenni? Gondolom azért, mert akkor jött ki a karakter, de... El is feledkeztem róla, hogy ő is van. Jó. Elkezdünk buildelni. Nahira vagy Hutao? Egy 10-est húzok. Nullás pitire. Melyiket adja be? Mind a 2-t szeretem, amúgy egyik se volt még. Megyünk egy Nahidára. Nem lett. Szomorú. Mit akarsz, az még jól is jön. Hát húzzuk a fiút, húzzuk a fiút. Alig van rá még Constellation-om. Na, megérte, egy 10-essel hozzájárultunk a pitihez. Hát igazából már annyira kevés időnk van. Szerintem letesszük a lantot. Behílelek. Illetve... Amit rohadtul elfelejtettem, és most meg is csinálok, az a Transformer. Még néztem is stream elején, aztán megint elfeledkeztem róla. Hát, ha ad valami hasznosat. Bár elég kis mennyiségbe szokott. Azt mondja, hogy... Na, tegyünk bele valamit. Hát nem is, de tudod mit teszünk? Slime-ot. Van valamiből még nagyon sok? Ebből még több van, már annyit időt eltöltöttem itt. Ja, na hát. A Kazuhának kaptunk egy darab bronzot. És ennyi. Illetve... De, ennyi. Ja, többinek nem veszem használt jelenleg. Finom! Jó, hát ez ilyen szokott lenni. Ez pont olyan, mint az artefaktok. Azon gondolkodtam még, hogy elköltjük a Condense Resint, de majd várunk még hozzá, aztán majd amikor több időnk van, akkor csinálunk ilyen rezines köröket. Na még 10? Nem. Nem, mert esküszöm, most fogom elmákolni Nahidát, és akkor megszívtam. Meg kell állni. Na, legközelebb folytatjuk az Arkon Questet. Én köszönöm szépen, hogy részt vettetek ebben a két Story Questben. Az Sumeruban tartunk az Akt 3-ban, ami, ha jól emlékszem, egy 6 órás Arkon Quest. Azt hiszem Kevin írta, hogy az volt a leghosszabb. Most kezdtük el, úgyhogy egy pár streamünk rá fog menni, 2 vagy 3, majd meglátjuk, hogy haladunk vele. Úgyhogy legközelebb az következik. Mindenkinek szép estét kívánok, kitartást a héthez, míg a fele hátra van, több mint a fele. És remélem, hogy találkozunk legközelebb is. Sziasztok!